Hi guys, welcome to part 3 of the PowerShell GPT walkthrough. In this video, I'm going to take you through the main settings. This is the settings panel. You can close it by clicking here, and you can open it by selecting settings. You can also close and open the settings panel from the PowerShell console. Okay, we've already covered voice recognition mode in part 2, so if you haven't seen that, be sure to check it out. Let's go through the main options, starting with Send System Prompt when app starts. If you select this option, whatever is saved as the system prompt will be sent to the model when the app starts. Next up, Run Command when app starts. Similar to above, but this allows you to run any saved command when the app starts. If you select it, a box will pop up asking you to enter the command you want to run. Okay, moving on to Send PowerShell Output to Model. This is what effectively creates the intelligent feedback loop for PowerShell. If we execute a simple echo command, you can see the console behaves as expected. There is no interaction with the AI model. However, if we select the option to Send PowerShell Output to Model, when we run the same command, the PowerShell response to the command is sent to the AI model as a new prompt. This allows the model to respond to errors and automatically correct its mistakes. You can hear what happens if the Read Aloud Model's responses option is selected. Okay, submit speech to model as prompt. Recognized speech gets sent to the model automatically. I cover that in part 2. Grant Permanent PowerShell Access. Okay, let me demo this. We'll start a fresh chat, then submit the system prompt. As soon as the model receives it, it will generate the PowerShell getDate command. PowerShell GPT will detect this, but before executing the code, we'll get a little pop-up that requests permission. You can click Deny, which will prevent the code from being executed. However, if we check Grant Permanent Access and do the same thing, this time when PowerShell GPT detects the code, instead of requesting permission, it will just execute it. We submit the system prompt again. The getDate command is generated, and this time there is no pop-up box requesting permission. Use that with caution, guys. Okay, what's next?
What would you like to do next with PowerShell?
Read aloud models' responses. I think we've covered that. In fact, let's uncheck that. Now, confirm critical commands. Okay. This option protects you from potentially dangerous commands. I'll demonstrate this using the empty recycle bin example. This PowerShell code contains force, which is detected by PowerShell GPT as a potentially dangerous command. This option basically gives you a final warning if the model is trying to execute PowerShell that could potentially delete files or alter the registry, etc. If we run the command with this option disabled, there will be no warning. Use this with extreme caution. Next up is prevent looping. Okay, if the messages between PowerShell and the AI model become repetitive, this is detected and the prevent looping prompt is interjected and sent to the model. A simple prompt can get you out of what otherwise would have been an infinite loop. If you choose to enable this option, you can modify the prompt to whatever you choose. Restore browser session when app starts. This option resets the inbuilt browser. So if you had 3 tabs open at specific sites, when the app restarts, it will reopen those 3 tabs. And the last one, run command on wake word. The wake word is the agent's name. This is used to trigger the processing of recognized speech, a bit like OK Google or Hey Siri. With this option, you can select a command to run whenever the wake word is detected. Clicking this icon will take you to the PowerShell GPT YouTube page. And clicking here will open Browser GPT. We covered the mic icon in part 2. What I didn't mention was the finalization delay. This setting controls the pause between the last detected word by the voice recognition system and the moment it processes the recognized speech. This box is where you change the agent name. And that concludes part 3 of the PowerShell GPT walkthrough. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in part 4.